She's Chris.
He's Mo. Welcome to the Chris Mo Show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Chris Mo Show. Appreciate you for tuning in today.
Absolutely.
Today, we are going to talk about... I didn't research this before we started filming, but we're going to talk about understanding the love languages. So this is based off of the conversation that we had last night. If you remember the conversation we had last night.
Do.
So first and foremost, we want to thank everybody for supporting our young entrepreneur, Sense by Yaya. Make sure y'all tune in.
Yes.
Not tune in, but hit that website. I ain't mean to say tune in. Hit that website. Use code. What's the code? I don't know the code. Create the code right now on air because we have the ability to do that.
Chrismo.
It's Chrismo. The code is Chrismo. If you use Chrismo, then you'll get 10% off of your purchases. And if you bring your empty candle shells back, you will also get 10% off of your purchases. There is a fly in here. I hope that doesn't bother you while we're recording.
Hopefully he doesn't.
You're not like Talia. You're not gonna go crazy. And,
I'm just gonna shoo him away.
Okay, yeah, you can shoo it away. That's fine.
Yeah.
But again, understanding love languages. So, if I ask Siri, what are the 5 love languages? Because I want to make sure we can give y'all this proper information. So the 5 love languages is a book that was written by Gary Chapman. But it's not going to tell me what the love languages are. I guess you'd have to buy the book to actually get the love languages. And I'm really pulling this up. And I'm not going to sit here and promote his product because I'm not going to get paid off of that. And it's not about getting paid. But, he's not going to endorse me. So, but this is a great tool for couples that are looking to build better communication, intimacy, strength. Could even be financial, but definitely understanding the love languages. Did you research that information? You got it?
Words of affirmation.
Okay.
Quality time. Physical touch. Acts of service. Receiving gifts.
Those are the 5 love languages. I remember that. Now that you said it, I definitely remember that.
Yes.
So, thank you for researching that information. But what I want to say, and the information that I want to give, is that we must understand each other's love language in a relationship. And we cannot expect for you to give me my love language. And in some situations, and I can only speak for me. I think I sometimes expect that you're going to give me my love language because I give it to you. When in reality, I'm not giving you your love language because I'm giving you mine. So specifically, my wife's love language is physical touch. I think that is your primary love language. And if I am incorrect, if I'm incorrect, then you can correct me on camera.
Yeah.
But my wife's primary love language is physical touch. Now, I don't want anybody to misquote me on this. I am all for the physical touch. Absolutely. We can touch and agree.
At all times.
Yes, ma'am. At all times. But because my primary love language is acts of service, I look at it as like effort, action. I call it action overall. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm expecting for you to give me my love language because I'm going to give it to you all day long. For instance, we're cleaning the house. House is dirty. And I see you, because I know through conversations that we had that a chore that you dislike is laundry. That's why I shout out to J. Cole. My favorite song from J. Cole is Folding Clothes. I want to fold clothes for you. I want to make you feel good. Baby, I want to do the right thing. Now, I don't know the whole song, but
That's part of it.
that's part of it. So if I see you, you separated the clothes, even if you didn't touch the laundry, like you downstairs in the kitchen, you washing dishes, I'm gonna pull out the broom and sweep the floor.
Yes,
Right. I'm going to go upstairs and fold all the clothes. And I do this a lot when you're working because you work from home. So I will see things that need to be done around the house. And I will just automatically, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to do that for you. But then I can't, and this is the mistake that I've made, I can't then in return skip out on your love language. I am a busybody. I think that's the word that the old folks would use. I'm a busybody. Like I'm constantly on go. And I try not to be a busybody. I want to be productive. So I'm looking at, okay, did I get an edit done? Can I go over here and fold these clothes while this edit is rendering? Now, to me, that's productive. I was able to get something done around the house because we know this is a revolving cycle, especially when you got 3 kids.
Yes.
But then in that, I'm so busy that I never stopped to take a moment and hug you. And that annoys you. And then what in return annoys me is because I'm a busybody, you will physically stand in front of me like a wall until I stop and hug you, which is nothing wrong with that. But again, the mistake that I make is I'm assuming you're going to respond and give me my love language when it's not your love language. I hope I articulated that right for the people, and they can understand what I'm getting at.
I think you did.
And I don't even have a question right now. I just really needed to say that because of the conversation that we had last night, which was a very, very informative conversation for me. Oh, and this is the other half of it. It's okay to disagree.
Absolutely.
It is normal in a relationship to disagree.
You are not going to agree about everything. You shouldn't.
You should not.
If you are two individual people, and you will never, won't say never. You will not always be on the same page.
You will not always be on the same page.
It's called agree to disagree for a reason.
This is an art form in relationships, and y'all have to learn how to do this.
It's called compromise.
Compromise. Yes, that's a big word.
You have to. In order for relationships to be successful, you have to compromise. There are things that you want to work towards together. There are things that you want to work towards individually. But with those things that you want to work towards together, there's going to be some compromise in how you get there. Because what I feel may be the way to do it, you may not feel that that's the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you may come back and say, well, if you tweak this and do this, we still might get the same result. You may be right, but it depends upon how you word it when you're giving that advice, how it's received.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like the conversation, like the thing we saw about
it was the basement, Tim Ross.
Yes.
And he was reading from someone's book. So Tim Ross got it from someone else. But it was an equation that I found very, very interesting. And the equation was 7, 38, 55.
Yeah.
And the breakdown of that was with communication, it is 7% the information. It was 7% the information that you give. It is 38%
body language.
Tone.
Right? Tone. Okay, tone.
38% tone, and then 55% body language.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is something that we both had to
work on.
And shout out to my bishop, Charles Millett.
Yes.
In conversations with Bishop, he helped me identify that something that I needed to improve on was my actual tone. I don't think my body language is bad. And again, I don't think doesn't necessarily mean that it's not happening.
Your body language is not the issue. Your tone has always been.
I have an aggressive tone.
You do. And to those who don't know you, it can come off real rude and real brass. So I'm glad that you're working on you have definitely improved from what you used to be. So to that I say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I know with myself, even with when with us, I know the way I can come off sometimes to you can be a little rude and a little rough, but I hope that I'm doing better in my tone in talking to you as well, because I don't want to come off rude and mean.
So for me, your tone hasn't really been an issue. It's your body language.
Oh, yeah.
You and I even said this on the Tuesday night broadcast at
My
the church.
face,
Like
my
I
face,
really I have
face.
to I had to learn your faces,
My faces.
because your faces say a lot.
Yeah, they do.
And then when I get the face and the tone, it's like, okay, I know this is I'm walking in deep water right now.
Sorry. I'm sorry, and I don't know. I'm working on it. I got to work with me on that one, because I definitely know my face says everything.
It does.
I don't have to say anything because my facial will say it.
That is correct.
I'm sorry. I don't even have nothing to say to that one, because
Communication is power. Communication is healthy.
I know that. I'm sorry. That's all I got for that one. Is I'm sorry.
No worry. You see, and you don't even have to apologize, because we're not the only people that go through this. There is somebody watching this right now.
No,
and he looking at her, she looking at him like, you see that? You hear that? You. That's what I be trying to tell you all the time.
I'm sorry. I mean, and I'll definitely say I don't know too many men who have the facial. Their face says everything, but I know a lot of women do that. It's prevalent in a lot of women. Welcome to Sense by Yaya, where dreams take shape in wax. Crafted by our young aviator, each candle tells a story. Made with 100% soy wax and infused with pure essential oils, Sense by Yaya invites you to elevate your space, one fragrance at a time. Visit us at sensebyaya.com to explore our heavenly scents and discover custom designs that light up your world. When you're dealing with other people, a lot of the times you have to bridle your tongue. You have to stop. So a lot of times my facial says what my mouth can't say. So my facial will say, leave me alone. Mm-hmm. When my mouth can't say it. Or it'll give you what you talking about? So, I I'm trying to work on that. That's a struggle. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That is a struggle.
Well, in the you've never been to AA. I've never been to AA, but
No.
I've heard a lot of these, like the 12-step program, and
Yes,
they say the
admitting.
first step is admitting.
I admit it. I wholeheartedly admit it. Like, sorry. I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna apologize in advance.
No worries. I love you no less. I absolutely love you no less.
Yeah. I oftentimes, I know when growing up, your mom had that power to look at you and instantly, like,
Yeah, you definitely got that.
Yeah.
All the way down, Pat. That was handed to you through the generations. Yeah, you got that.
Yeah,
because you do it to me.
I'm
So
sorry.
I know you do it to Talia and Liam and Devontae. You do it.
Yeah, I do.
You do it.
I do it.
Okay, so here's a question.
Yes.
And this is actually what I wrote in my journal last night. But my question is, if we have a conversation, a courageous conversation, it means we are communicating.
Yes.
And we're at a place to where we agree to disagree. Does that mean we have to find a resolution. If we agree to disagree on something.
No. No, because if we can't, at that moment, we may have to come back to it. Because if we are in a conversation, and we are
smack
not
the fly. I see the fly. We're not going to take up too much time on the fly, but I see the fly.
I know he had to make his appearance.
He had to.
But no, if we're having a discussion and a courageous conversation, and we are not coming to common ground, we're gonna have to agree to disagree and let it go. Now, after we, a couple of days may go by, and we could sit and think amongst ourselves and replay the conversation, then we may be able to come back and come to a compromise on whatever the topic was. But trying to force it in that moment will only cause an argument.
Truth.
So when you get to a point to where you are elevating, and as my bishop and Pastor Patty would say, are we going there?
They got a kill switch. They got a safe word.
Safe word.
This is good.
If you were to that point to where you are, if your courageous conversation starts at a level like this, and you slowly start to elevate, and you're going up, and you're continually going up, once you reach to a certain point, you're not listening to each other anymore.
I can't disagree with that.
At this point, you're just trying to get your point across. You don't care what the other person is saying, because you feel that person is not listening to you, and that person feels like you're not listening to them. So you're not going to accomplish anything. So I feel you have to pause. You have to pause, and you have to table whatever discussion that you're having, because it's not going to be productive.
I can't disagree with that. I would add to that, in a relationship, it is an art form to know when and how to present information.
Absolutely.
So again, this would go back to like tone.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
But just because you pissed me off right now, this may not be the appropriate time to address it.
No.
Because typically what's going to happen is I'm emotionally charged, you're emotionally charged. And odds are we're going to say something
to piss each other off
to
even
get
more.
a reaction. Correct. So it's not the best time. I'm a big thinker.
You are.
I think a lot.
You do.
I ask a lot of questions, so I understand why Liam asks so many questions. But that's how I process information, as to where you have a great ability to let things go.
I do.
For days. And
so I'm going to say to that, it's all in how, okay, to me, I can say this was my upbringing. We didn't, if something was said, or if there was a disagreement, if it was elevated, once the situation was over, it was over. It was no coming back to it, talking about it, figuring out what happened. None of that. So in my adult life, and what I know now is not correct, you have to talk about stuff.
You definitely have to talk about it. And I don't disagree with the whole let's not talk about it right now. However, I feel that if we don't at some point at least address it, then it leaves room for the situation to happen again. Agreed.
Which is why I'm thankful to you, because you ask a lot of questions. And I can honestly say that it used to annoy the ever-living crap out of me.
I know.
I could not stand it. Could not. But I thank you because it pushed me out of my comfort zone. And it made me understand the need to ask questions, to get clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And what I had to get you to understand is, when you're throwing questions at me, give me a minute.
I'm not giving you time to process.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely guilty of that.
Give me a minute. Like, I gotta think. Everything that you've thrown at me, you gotta give me a second. Let me process everything. And I may not come back to you right then, but I'll come back. Hold on. You oftentimes you thought this like, I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, boop, 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 and I'm like, and it pissed me off. So I was shut down. I'm not talking.
Because I honestly thought that's how my brain works.
That's how you should work.
Your brain is going to work like that.
And it don't work that way.
That is correct.
It does not work that way.
I was absolutely wrong in that regard.
So a lot of the times when if you're in a relationship, if you guys are arguing constantly, pause. Why are we arguing?
That's a good question. Do you remember the first argument we ever got into? This is funny. We were young too.
Okay, so
it was about macaroni and cheese. No lie. If my mother is watching this, she is dying laughing just like you are right now. Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, yes, what it was.
It was a beautiful argument too.
Oh, young love.
It's a beautiful argument.
Yes. But the thing though, the thing I can say that I'm most proud about is that in our marriage, I won't say prior to us getting married, but in our marriage, especially since the kids have come into play, we do not argue in front of the children.
I don't really feel like we argue at all.
We don't. We have some disagreements.
We disagree.
And as our oldest would say, we have passive. What do you say? Passive discussions. we kind of we say what we say what we're gonna say, and we keep it pushing, or we throw our shots, we throw our digs, and we keep it pushing. But any of our discussions that we have to have, we don't have them in front of the children. We table. If there's something that we need to discuss that's in our room behind closed doors, and we don't raise voices. Not happening. Children pick up on everything. They are sponges.
Truth.
Whatever you put in, whatever is in their environment, they will do.
Mm-hmm.
Our children are a good combination of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I can definitely say that my daughter has my attitude. She's a good.
Oh no.
She has your attitude.
Oh no.
She until she's pushed, she's quiet.
She's very quiet.
But if you push her, be prepared.
Truth.
So look at, be prepared.
Truth.
Liam, he's our talker. He's still young. I don't see him being a fighter. I pray to God that he's not. I pray he's a lover.
I can see that. Perfect timing too. If you heard him just make a noise, I don't know where he is in the house, but I definitely heard that.
Yes, but I also have the feeling that he will be a good mixture of us both. To the same point of, don't push.
Yeah,
because you're gonna
definitely.
get a reaction. The oldest, he's you all day. When we were growing up, our parents didn't understand our music, and
Oh, I definitely feel. Oh, if we want to go there, listen, listen.
hold on. Our parents didn't understand our music, and with rap, when rap came around, I can't understand nothing they saying. I don't understand it. Why is you listening to that mess?
Mm-hmm.
All of that.
Mm-hmm.
And now, oh my goodness, how many times have we said this? They ain't talking about nothing. They ain't talking about nothing.
So I understand the rap. So I'm a hip hop baby. Right?
Yes.
I'm an 80s baby.
Yes.
So I grew up in the era of
Yes.
hip hop.
However,
I love hip hop, but
this
I
era that
definitely
they
agree.
got right now,
They're not talking. No, they are talking about something. This
And
is
it's-
what you're talking about. And shout out to my guys at On Site because we discuss this all the time. All we doing is, I think you said it the other day, but all we're doing is making pharmaceutical companies richer
absolutely,
because we talk about drugs.
all the time.
So you said the other day, we grew up in the era of hip hop we grew up in. We had the drug dealers who
Yes.
were looking
For a way out.
for a way out, and they
Yes.
were telling their stories
Yes.
of what they had to overcome.
They're doing it to get out.
Now, in this generation,
Drug using.
you have a big, like, that's all they talk about.
It's pill this, pop this, pill that.
I am in the car with Devontae the other day, and I can't front. I don't know the artist. I don't know the song. Structure wise of the song, it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
The production, very good.
Mm-hmm.
The rhyme pattern, I could dig it.
Mm-hmm.
But the first line was, I'm at a party with all the pill poppers. I'm like, Malik, cut this off. Cut this.
Again, at this point in our lives, we understand what people say is you have to be mindful of what you put in your ear gate.
You absolutely have to be mindful of what goes into the ear gate.
He's older. Of course, our oldest. He's older. He can listen to what he wants to listen to. We still have to let him know. Okay, you might not want to listen to that. We still try to parent in that aspect of it, but we can't really control that one. However, that 6-year-old.
Oh, no, I'm filtering everything. And I'm at a war right now because he listens to a lot of Aubrey. And
Yes.
I'm not an Aubrey fan.
No.
And this has nothing to do with the beef,
No.
the battle.
No.
Aubrey makes some good songs.
Yes.
But this new Aubrey wants to be a gangster, and
And
I'm
it's
not a
unreal-
fan of it.
Welcome to Sense by Yaya, where dreams take shape in wax. Crafted by our young aviator, each candle tells a story. Made with 100% soy wax and infused with pure essential oils. Sense by Yaya invites you to elevate your space, one fragrance at a time. Visit us at sensebyaya.com to explore our heavenly scents and discover custom designs that light up your world.
Talia's right there. Come on in. Hello. Guest appearance by Princess Talia. Yeah. Buy some of these candles.
Okay, get your butt out the camera.
We should talk about this too. Oh yeah. Listen, I got big guns. I'm not threatening you, but just know.
What a hug.
I know.
Love you.
Love you too.
Is dinner done? Dinner is close to being done. It smells good.
Stir up the food. Stir the crock pot. Take it off.
This is real.
The top off. And stir it up.
This is how we get down. And she's asking about dinner, and she just came out the kitchen eating. Growing teenagers, they eat you out of house and home. You have to be prepared. Children are a real thing.
Yes.
But back to Aubrey.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of this new Aubrey. He definitely makes great music, but him and Future, him and 21 Savage, I'm not a fan. I didn't listen to that project.
The one I just don't understand, quite frankly, is Future. I don't understand it because you don't.
I do not
use
disagree with that.
Any extracurricular drugs. You don't do any of that. Any of it. But all of your music is tailored to that.
It is to the drug references. I think that's because this is what the major labels want you to talk about, because they want to keep us
drugged, stupid, dumb, Like, it's just the whole thing. Like, now even with the curriculum in schools, they dumbing down the schools. Like, it's just what it is. Like, it doesn't make sense. It does not make any sense at all. And for him, and I'm just going to say, for him as a black man, point blank period, who has children.
He does.
Several children.
Several.
Why you would want to put those references out there in the world like that? Like, I get it. Okay, so I'm just going to put it out there point blank. Yes, we have smoked weed. Yes. Marijuana. We've dealt in that world. Yes. But that's it. None of that lean, none of them other pill poppings, no, none of that other stuff. I don't understand it. How that's glorified. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it.
Because Big Pharma is a major, major business. Just think about, and I mean, it's terrible, but I remember the Oxycontin epidemic back in the early 2000s.
That's like, just now coming under the control, so to speak. But they ain't not really coming under control. They just got got fentanyl out now. So
fentanyl is the new thing.
Yeah, yes. So they just reintroducing other stuff,
Big Pharma,
which just doesn't make sense because, like, again, if this is supposed to be something that's pharmaceutical, how the heck is it on the street?
That's a good question.
How is it on the street?
Anything makes it into, and I can't just say our neighborhoods because this is like
everybody
is affected by this. This is an epidemic.
This one has crossed over.
We definitely saw the epidemic in living in New Hampshire and how bad it was.
Yes.
So, yes, this is everywhere. Because again, Big Pharma is a major entity in America. I don't know how it is in other countries because I haven't lived in other countries. I'm
just going to go from what I've heard. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Like, of course, everybody has their stuff that they do, but it's not big as it is here.
I worked in a hospital, and I can honestly say this. I'm not going to name the hospital, but we remember going back and visiting some people that I became very close with while working at this particular hospital. I worked at a couple hospitals, but one in particular, I am definitely under the belief that Big Pharma does not want to make you well. They want to keep you sick so that they can continue to make money.
Absolutely.
And in this hospital that I worked in, it was like, especially during the COVID epidemic, I remember
you coming talking to me
how they like to get the turnover rate so we can get more people in the bed so we can make more money. They heavily dumbed down the COVID restrictions while we were in the middle of the pandemic. And I actually remember one young lady, after I was released from that position, thank God, I remember one young lady actually died because she worked so much overtime. So she was getting the bag. They didn't mind paying you as long as you were a slave. And she was absolutely that. She was a single young woman in her 20s that she was doing what we've been taught to do in America, is to go out, work hard, stack your money, but at what extent? Because now she is no longer walking this earth,
and that money is gone. It's going back to the state because she had nobody. She had nobody. So the state got her money.
So
that's sad.
It is.
I in a previous position, I know several people that worked for the place we used to work at, and they retired, and within 6 months of them retiring, they passed away.
I do remember that.
Like,
I do remember that.
You work your whole life. You work. You dedicate your whole life to a company, and then you can't even enjoy your retirement because you become so used to, your body has become so used to doing something every day, to where when you finally say, okay, I'm done, your body says, okay, we done. we've done everything we're gonna do now. We're done. And I can understand those who retire but keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we're telling our daughter now, work young.
Absolutely.
While you're young, work.
And more importantly than that, find something that you actually enjoy doing.
So it doesn't feel like work. Like, I see a lot of young people now, they are going into college early. They are graduating high school early, and a lot of these are homeschooled. But this can be done any other time. Even in school, they're graduating high school early. They're getting their college degrees early. They are experiencing life early, because who wants to, like we did? Okay, we went K through 12. That whole time in school, and then we had to get out of school, and then if we wanted to go to college, that's 4 additional years of college. Oh, now you want graduate school, that's 4 more years of college. And then if you actually specialize in something, that's more years in college. Like, now you got it to where kids can go like that, dual enrollment, where you're in high school and you're taking college coursework. Or with the early schools, you're in high school and then you're coming out of you're graduating with an associate's and a high school diploma. Like, it just makes a lot more sense now, because the way everything has advanced, to get stuff done early, versus saying, oh, you got plenty of time. No. If you work hard now while you're young, when you 40, you don't have to hit nobody's clock. You can work. Nah, I'm going to go on this vacation, or better yet, I'm going to go do something else, or my money is working for me. I don't have to hit nobody's clock to earn no dollar. I got my streams of income set up already. They doing my money doing what I needed to do.
So I think it was 2 things that happened, one good, one bad, during COVID. COVID showed a lot of people that it is not necessary to become a slave to these companies and go out and basically kill yourself for somebody else. And then the good thing was, it showed the resiliency of people, and you can work hard for yourself and be successful.
Yes.
Build businesses.
Yes. Those same big businesses that are out there populating all these things, a small business can do.
Small businesses help promote local communities.
And see, this is what people have the issue. Because they go into these big companies and they see the same product that a small business has produced, but the product from the small business is more expensive than the big corporation. What you fail to realize is this not the same quality.
Facts. You can go and get candles all day out of Walmart or Bath and Body Works,
but it's not the same quality.
Absolutely not. You're getting wax blends that are not
good,
naturally safe for the environment.
It's oils that are not good.
Absolutely.
that are not
fragrances, toxic chemicals that you're bringing into your house, and
you don't need all of that stuff. So even not just any product that a small business made, it's the quality that you're paying for. It's the time that the person has put into it to make that you're paying for. Stop giving out to these big corporations. I understand you might need it right then. Okay, cool. I understand that. But if you got time, support your small business, that small business, that entrepreneur. Support them, because that's going to take your community a lot further than that big corporation will. Like,
I agree.
That big corporation is just that. They're big for a reason. They're everywhere. And the products that they're pulling in, that they're bringing in, they're not made here. They're not. They're typically not made here.
Corporations outsource from
other countries. And they're bringing them in. They're bringing the stuff in. And I get it. Other countries need support too. Yes, they do. However, you can get the same stuff here. why not support your small business?
Do other countries need the support?
Some do, some don't.
Their commute, okay, I'll give you that. But I was
Some
going to
do,
say
some don't.
again, we see how
Some
other cultures come here looking forward to the American dream, and they band together.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I'm in a meeting
Absolutely.
a couple of weeks ago, and a guy says that I believe he said the Jewish people run New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because they stick together.
Absolutely.
They support each other.
I'm just going to put it out there. So in our area is heavily Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to speak from when we were growing up. When we were growing up, we would see them, and they would be 10 deep in a car. I'm just going to put for the car. But what you don't realize is that those 10 people from that's several different families in one.
Right.
So they came in and they banded together to buy this one house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Once this one house is taken care of, then that one family stays in that, then those other 8 move to another. And then they get that one taken care of, and then they move to another. Slowly, everybody.
But before they even move, they bring another set of families in to help support that new house.
Yes.
To get this new family on their feet.
Yes. So they're all banding together. They're all working together. All other cultures work together. It just, for some reason, and I don't know why.
I do.
We just can't get it together. We can't get it together.
We can. We just don't want to. Because we've been
so conditioned to get it from somebody else.
Correct. And we've been conditioned to basically fight against each other.
Yes. Which, if we would all band together and work together,
it'd be a different story.
It'd be a different story. We could get so much more accomplished
altogether.
But we started this on another conversation.
That's why we sometimes call this random thoughts, because we have a thought
and we go somewhere else.
The kid comes in and puts her butt in the camera, and now we're just
going to somewhere else.
We're all over the place, but it's beautiful.
The initial conversation that we was talking about was music, and we were talking about how we watch and monitor what goes into our little one. It is not the responsibility of nobody else. The radio, the companies, it ain't nobody else's responsibility to monitor what goes into our children's ear other than us.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand listening to.
Oh, he definitely heard you.
Oh, absolutely.
He definitely heard you.
I was watching a video on one of the social media platforms a day or two ago, and T.I. and Tiny were on the radio with their daughter, Eris. And excuse me if I pronounced her name wrong, I am very sorry. But they were on the radio, and they asked him, does she listen to his music? And he said, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. She ain't ready for that. I totally understand that, because that's not her life. His life, when he was out in the streets hustling, she don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
She don't need to listen to that. That's not her. That's not where she at. She don't know nothing about the rubber band man. She don't know nothing about that. That ain't her. So I totally understand with him saying, nah, she don't listen to that.
I remember being, I think, 13, and Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in my room listening to it. And I don't know if I've told this story on air or not, but I remember my father walking by the room, and the particular song that was playing was "It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None." Pops heard these lyrics, and did a Biggie line. He kicked in the door. He wasn't waving the fofo, but he absolutely snatched that tape, and he broke it in pieces. Like, you can't listen to this. So coming full circle, yeah, I hear a lot of these records, and I have those same feelings, those same sentiments that he did. Like, you're not ready for this. I remember Talia got in trouble at school one time because I listened to the radio heavily, and she sung a Rihanna song that was not age appropriate for her at that time. And she didn't understand
what the lyrics of the song was.
She had no clue.
She was just singing the song that
and
she
then
heard on the radio.
Told, how a lot of us, we didn't know what they was. I had no clue until maybe last year what the true definition of SWV week is.
Oh yeah, and then
it wasn't weak. It's not weak. It's the rain down on me. Let your love fall like raindrop. I did not, Martin. I didn't know.
But a lot of people didn't know. Even just the electric slide.
Sounds it's like electric. Thunder coming down somewhere. Go ahead.
It's electric. That's about Master.
Oh, it is. It is. It is.
Did not know. And we out line dancing to this joint.
We got grandma line dancing to this joint. We playing it at every cook. Lord have mercy. God help us all.
Didn't know. You didn't know. I mean, but then too, back in the day, you had to be clever with the way you're wording.
And I think that's the problem with music nowadays.
It's
now
just
we just
bold.
want to be,
It's just out there.
There's no originality.
It's
we
nothing.
Just gonna say sexy red and
my booty hole brown and all that. Who cares?
That's the lyric.
What? What?
All you could do is laugh to
That's
it.
it. That's all you could. And look, this is the thing. I get it. There's an audience for everybody.
Absolutely.
But that shouldn't be an audience for anybody.
Ooh,
nobody needs to know that your booty hole brown. Who cares?
I don't.
I mean,
I don't.
It's just certain things you just need to keep to yourself. It's just what it is. Like, again, parents,
Facts.
Monitor what your children listen to. Be involved in your children's lives.
Please do.
Don't send your children to school around other adults, individuals, and want to blame the others for what's happening with your child when you ain't paying attention. Oh, I just seen a thing, and I gotta find that video. But there was a child who was in the 12th grade, so he thought. But they sent him back to the 9th grade because my man ain't passed no classes. His mama gonna say they failed him. No, boo-boo, it was you. Because it ain't no way this man been in school for 4 years.
She ain't never look at a report card.
You ain't looked at no report card. They ain't called. This
happened on several levels. This happened on several levels. It is the parents' fault as well, but it's also the school system that
pushes. This is what it was. They kept passing him because what it was, he won't come into school, and when he came to school, he was causing a ruckus. So the teachers didn't want to deal with him. Pass him. He passed a few classes. Pass him. Only to get to 12th grade, and he ain't got the credits.
He doesn't have his credits.
So it's all the teachers' faults, but it's also this is the parents' fault all day long, because it ain't no way at the end of the year when you get that report card home and you see that you only passed 2 to 3 classes. How you passing 2-3 classes? You ain't got no grade. You not gonna have enough credits. Point blank.
Yeah.
You ain't how okay. So I'm just gonna say, in North Carolina, we had excused absences, and they calling us over excused absences.
True story. I'm not going back into the rant about the school
No.
I did this on the on-site podcast,
they literally called us about excused absences, and they wanted to talk about, if you don't, they don't show up, we'll have to take you to court.
Yeah, y'all gonna try to take me to court.
Like,
that's tough.
But you got students who are failing, and y'all not doing nothing. Like, in that regard, I don't know what this little boy was at the school with. I don't know. I don't have the article, and I'm not going to pull it up. But that school system failed the parent. The parent failed the child. That altogether was horrible, because there's no way this young man should have made it all the way to the 12th grade only to be told he don't have enough credits. And the parent, she shouldn't have been saying the school failed him. No, boo-boo, this was you. Because as the parent, you should be more involved in knowing on what's going on with your child, to where there would have never been this issue. Your child wouldn't have had unexcused, I think they said 22 absences. Like,
how you passing with 22 absences? Y'all gonna, if we get to 16 in North Carolina, you gonna take me to court.
That part.
So how you get to 22? I don't know.
That part. Like, there's a lot of things, and the parents say, well, I took him to school, I dropped him off at school.
That means nothing.
That means absolutely nothing. Here in North Carolina, your kid is not, you get a phone call home every day on whatever phone number that you got. 9 times out of 10, everybody don't have a home phone now. Everybody got a cell phone. So back in the day, we used to be able to beat that phone call, intercept that call if we done skip school or something. But now it ain't no home phone call. Ain't no more home phones. It's all cell phones. So that parent's cell phone is in that phone, that school information. You can't intercept that call. It's not possible. So you mean to tell me your kid won't going to school?
No, I probably did, but because I'm stuck in the trap of inflation and trying to keep up with the Joneses and make my bills, that I'm constantly at work and I don't have the time, or I feel and think I don't have the time to dedicate to my child, and thus I rely on the school system to just do this stuff for me and think little Johnny is going to tell me the truth.
Nah, but you got to do pop-ups.
I mean, we know that.
Pop-ups. You got to do pop-ups.
But every situation is different.
It is. Every situation is different. But at the same time, you got to be willing to take if you're, I get it. You in the hustle and bustle. You out there trying to make $1. Get it. But at this point in life, this point in the world, jobs is open. Jobs is out there.
But again, now we going back to the conversation we just had. Jobs are out there, but now you're stuck in the trap, because is it the job that you want, or the job that's going to ultimately kill you?
True.
We wrapping it right there, because that's really
what it boils down to.
And now you stuck in the trap. This is one of my favorite Outkast songs. And now you stuck in the trap, and it's just that, trapped.
Go on and marinate on that for a minute.
Y'all make sure y'all continue to tune in with us, so we can keep giving y'all this value, keep giving you this knowledge.
If it's something that you want us to talk about,
they don't want us to talk about it. They really don't want us to talk about it.
Let us know. They might.
But we gonna give you the real.
The real.
And sometimes, like Jack Nicholas said, you can't handle the truth.
Is it point blank? We're not gonna sugarcoat it.
None of that.
We're gonna tell you our honest opinion, how we honestly feel.
All of that.
whether you like it or not.
Absolutely.
We gonna tell you. But yeah, let us know.
Keep tuning in to the Chris Mo Show.